Meanwhile, the Republicans are trying to destroy net neutrality. Now, they've been trying to do this. As I mentioned earlier, again, you won't hear about this on Huffington Post, which is owned by Verizon, or, well, maybe you will. I don't know. But you certainly won't hear it on CNN. You won't hear it on MSNBC, which is owned by Comcast. But there are 4 lawsuits right now by these telecom companies against the FCC to try to overturn net neutrality. Because what they want to do is they want to go to a cable-based system where, oh, you're on the internet? Well, if you want to have access to streaming services, that's an extra $5. If you want to have access to news sites, that's an extra $7. If you want to have access to porn sites, that's an extra $25 a month. If you want to have access to YouTube, that's an extra $3 a month. If you want to have, and they just basically want to create this menu just like they have it right. Oh, you want to see HBO? That's an extra $5. You want to watch MSNBC? That's an extra $5 a month. I mean, this is the model that the cable industry has created, which is insanely profitable for them. Americans pay anywhere from 2 to 5 times what pretty much anybody else in the developed world pays for cable television. We're screwed. Why? Because we've got giant monopolies that own the industry. And now those giant monopolies want to also take over the internet and turn it into a pay-for-play kind of system by blowing up net neutrality. Well, not only are they doing it through lawsuits at the FCC, but now they're going to go around the FCC and rewrite the law that regulates the FCC, which is called the Telecommunications Act. And this is in today's thehill.com. And it's by David McCabe. Republicans believe they are finally close to overhauling a landmark law that has been a cornerstone of tech and telecom regulation for decades. The effort to update the Communications Act, which gives the FCC its authority, has been years in the making and has powerful support. Of course, these guys are, these telecom companies are spinning off hundreds of billions of dollars in profit in aggregate. They've certainly got enough money to buy a few politicians. You can buy politicians in this town for really cheap, a couple $100,000, $500,000, $1 million, and you own yourself a senator. A couple $100,000 or even $100,000, you own yourself a member of the House of Representatives. $1 million, you own yourself a senator. And that's nothing. That's chump change. That's, Verizon, Comcast, AT&T. They spend that, with a sneeze. So the chairman of the Senate Commerce Committee and veteran lawmakers in the House Energy and Commerce Committee are vowing to make changing the law a centerpiece of the 2017 agenda. And I would bet you almost anything. John Thune is the head of the Senate Commerce, the chairman of the Commerce Committee, John Thune. He says, we think it's time for Congress to be heard from again. I haven't gone to sourcewatch.org yet to look up John Thune. I will at some point here during the show. But I'm guessing that he's getting a hell of a lot of money from these folks, or at least from front groups that front for them. Welcome back. Thom Hartmann here with you. Well, it's so interesting. I did this riff here a minute ago about how John Thune, who is the chairman of the Commerce Committee in the Senate, is looking to blow up net neutrality by rewriting the Telecommunications Act. And I said, I'll bet that he's being funded by the big telecom companies. So I went to opensecrets.org during the break, and his number 2 funder, this is during the era of 2011 to 2011 to 2016, his top 20 contributors. This is both campaign committee and leadership PAC, and you can see this at opensecrets.org. His first largest one is Blackstone Group, which is a private equity fund. It's like Mitt Romney's, it's banksters. His second one, though, is Verizon Communications. Surprise, surprise. His fourth one is AT&T, his 4th largest donor, AT&T. And here's what's so amazing about it. They're going to get him to rewrite these rules, which will make them hundreds of millions. It'll make them billions of dollars. The amount of money that AT&T contributed to John Thune, they gave $40,000 to his PAC, to his super PAC, and they gave $12,000 to him, $12,500, total of $52,500. That's how cheap you can buy a senator. Now, it's not just AT&T. Verizon gave him $58,000, AT&T gave him $52,000, Comcast gave him, which is his 7th largest donor, gave him $46,200. And we got a whole bunch of defense contractors in here, Lockheed Martin, a bunch of pharmaceutical companies, Altria. Oh, Altria is the tobacco company. They gave him $42,000. Sanford Health, Next Era Energy, Pfizer, here, National Association of Broadcasters. So the two takeaways is, number one, how insanely cheap it is to buy a member of Congress. So, you know, John Thune is a bargain, right? As are all of them, because they only need a few $1,000,000. And, you know, in order to successfully run for office, you give them a few $1,000,000 and they will pass laws that will make you billions. So there you go. I was expecting to be surprised by that. I guess I'm not.
To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.